Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hold on. Sasheena, you're beating me to the punch. That's it. I hope everybody's doing well today. We are in for a great surprise. We have Sasheena joining me tonight as a special guest on our first ever Fall of Friday. And Sasheena, do you want to say hi?
Hi, everybody. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I hope they can hear you. Presto, she's beaten me. Debs, welcome. Thank you to Colin and Heather for sending people over here. Wow, what a crowd we have to start with. Well, welcome. I'm Kitchen Court Chats, Kitchen Court Cases, Kitchen. We watch court in my kitchen and we have a lot of fun doing it. Sasheena is a longtime viewer and supporter of the channel, and we are really excited to spend a Friday evening together. Something that we will be doing every 2 weeks on my channel going forward, where I am going to chat with somebody just like you from the chat who wants to tell me about a channel you have, a passion you have, or something that really you want to share. Glitter Farts here, Shaz Mac, Mayor Wrench McNome, welcome Courtney. I hope you're doing well. RLS0523. Guys, you know the deal. If you could tell me what you've had for dinner, if you didn't like what you had for dinner, tell me what you wish you had for dinner. And we are going to get going with some court pretty darn quick. Um, Lisa, it's so fun seeing all these people come together in the chat already, Sashina. I don't know if you're seeing this as well, but the the people are coming together already, and I love it. Guys, Sashina, tell us what your channel's about. Let's start there, and then we'll talk about some other stuff. But MB's having leftover Mexican food. I'm gonna guess that you had something to do with lamb because almost every time you have dinner, you have a lamb involved in that dinner or some other homegrown, home raised item, which I love and respect so much. So tell us, what did you have for dinner tonight, Sashina?
So I did not make lamb burritos, which is how you pronounce it. um, but I just had some chicken Alfredo that my husband made for me. Tonight, though, or tomorrow morning, I'm gonna try my hand at some spare ribs. A rack of lamb.
Lamb spare ribs.
Yes, lamb ribs.
Okay.
So I've never
Okay.
cooked ribs before. I'm gonna sear them and roast them and see how that goes.
Okay. Okay. So everybody in the chat's going to help us out with their rib advice because my rib advice, and I don't know if it's different for pork versus lamb. Maybe somebody out there in the chat knows. That's what I love, the hive mind. But if we can figure that out, does she need to do the boiling and the like peeling of the membrane first? Because that's something you do with pork ribs where you will take the membrane off of the pork. This is a kitchen channel. Colin, hi. Thank you so much for sending people over to us. I appreciate that. Lisa says, ew.
I don't think so.
Sorry.
Everything I've read about the lamb ribs or the rack of lamb is that you just put a little bit of light flour on it, sear it, and then roast it at 450 for like 15 on each side.
Okay, well, that sounds exceedingly easy. So you're going to have to make a video of that. A little later on in the video tonight, we are going to watch a few of Sashina's favorite picks from her channel. We're going to link her channel. I'm going to hope that everybody goes and subscribes that isn't already subscribed. I am so happy to see some new people in the chat as well as old friends and family. Denali Mike, we have Beverly Bradford, of course. Artie Fufkin is here, Erica Thorpe, Bruce Davis, Shaz Mack, Glitterfart, Vicky, of course. Guys, again, thank you so much for being here with me. This is the first time I've done this with somebody else on the stream, so I appreciate y'all being here. Heather, going to bed. Thank you for stopping in. Oh, yes, MB, thank you for the reminder. On this channel, we go ahead and clock in for our shifts by hitting the like button. So if we could go ahead and do that, it helps with YouTube Daddy and the algorithmic things that make him go round and round and round. We don't know what those are. But again, guys, thank you so much for being here. Courtney says she buys ribs from barbecue places to avoid seeing or touching them raw. I understand that. I don't think Sasheena lives near a barbecue place. Do you?
No, and I really don't eat that much meat. I've been having a lot this summer, but that's just because I happen to have half of an entire animal. So, I'm trying not to waste a beautiful relationship that I had with that animal, because I know I've said it in chat, but I really loved Buddy. Buddy was it was a character. He was so sweet. He was the nicest animal. And then one day he decided to murder me. And when somebody tries to murder you, eventually you got to make a decision.
And
And
you decided to eat Buddy.
I decided, I could have put him down and just left him in his corpse in the forest and let the animals of the forest eat it. But that felt wasteful. And I couldn't sell him, because whoever I sold him to was just going to do the same thing, because he
Liability.
couldn't reproduce. So, and he wasn't useful as a companion animal because he wants to kill people now. So I had no choice, really, because he had really only one destination. I had to choose whether I made him have a lot of stress, sold him for a little bit of cash money, and sent him off so someone else could, off him, or I could just give him lots of love from a distance now that he wanted to kill me.
And
And
fatten
then
him up.
yeah, well, I kept him about 4 days after the attempted murder, but and then I had somebody come in from school, one of the janitor staff, not somebody who makes a lot of money. And I said, hey, if you can help me. So he took care of the whole thing, and he returned me half an animal packaged, and he got to keep half the animal and the pelt. And it was great because it was a win-win-win.
Win, win, win. Lose for Buddy. But that's okay because Buddy
But it was
won
only
in
one
life.
moment.
Buddy won in life. That's the truth. He had a beautiful life. He was cared for very well.
He spent the
Um,
first 3 months of his life living indoors, not in my
he
house.
needed to know his place, first of all. Buddy,
Yeah.
don't bite
Well,
that hand that feeds you.
his horns were as long as my forearm, and they stuck straight forward. And he had two others. He had four horns total. He was. I'll pick out a video that shows Buddy, so we can all honor his memory, because I do honor his memory. But he is now moved on in the natural circle of life, and I have a replacement, and his name is Wile E. Coyote. I can't hear you.
Yeah, I was muted. We've talked about this before, but it's a little weird, but like vegans, obviously, some people are super vegan, but I think there's another way of being like really uh, authentic with your food where you raise it yourself and you really don't eat a lot of meat unless it's something that you've done that way. And I'm not like that. I live in the city. But that is, I know, a good thing for people to do. But here's a weird thing that I found out recently. Breast milk is vegan because you can get consent from the person giving the breast milk. So that also means if somebody consents to you cutting off their leg and eating it, that's vegan meat.
I guess you just have to go around looking for people who want to be amputees.
I'm just more of I'm a loophole kind of girl. That's the legal part of me. I'm always like looking for the loopholes.
Oh my God.
Anyways, okay, let's find some court here. We have something sent to us by, first of all, we're going to Bothell. You know Bothell. I love Bothell. This guy's walking around as usual. Sometimes I find maybe do we watch too much court or do other people not watch enough court? Because I already know there is no way in hell I would be standing up, walking around, showing my ceiling fan from the ceiling while but yet we see that every day.
Let's see. Ceiling fan. There it is.
Oh, oh my gosh, she has a ceiling fan. We don't have that here. Okay, guys, a final reminder: if you don't subscribe to this new channel already,
record for the
hold on,
10:30 calendar.
Judge it.
Miss Pimentel.
We're ready. Firstly, it's Kitsch. Sometimes they just talk right over me. if you guys could go ahead and subscribe to the new channel, it would be very much appreciated. I am building this one back up. We had kitchen court cases before. We are moving into that one. It is a good time for a med check. Thank you, Erica, for the reminder. So the reminder of that, if you take meds, go ahead, take them. If you don't need to take them right now, think about when you need to take them. And if you don't take meds at all, come on. Tell us what that's like, because we have never had anybody come down to the chat and say that yet. Not once.
We have once.
Did we? Maybe I missed it because I was busy taking my meds.
Yes. I don't remember who it was, but it was one of your fans who was older than me. So, dinosaur age. Speaking of dinosaurs, I have to show off my dinosaur print on my arm.
Okay, is that a bruise? I'm gonna pop up here in a second. What happened?
Apparently, I take medicine to help me sleep, and apparently I went to the restroom after I had taken it and did a face plant.
Oh
no! Yeah,
that nasty door got you. Oh, yeah, that's not acceptable. Not acceptable at all.
It looks like a dinosaur print. You know. We can't hear you.
Yeah, I'm muted. Oh man. It's so great to have somebody here to tell me that right away. Guys, if you're new here, we are checking out Bothell Municipal Court. Bothell is just up the street from me. I am in British Columbia, Canada, which is why you can't blame me if I don't know what I'm talking about. Sasheena, on the other hand, also isn't a lawyer, so don't worry. Neither of us know what we're talking about with this. We just like to watch it, okay? So, let's take a look. Look at this guy, first of all. Okay, first of all, I would like to believe that he has an AED heart device on his wall, and that is why he has AED in his background. I don't know if Sasheena's seeing that right now. I might have to change.
I can see it.
You can see it? Okay. So he has AED in the back. In Canada, wherever you are, if you see that, it usually means that there's a heart, like a defibrillator available. So I really hope that's what it is. I doubt it, but I do hope that's what it is. Right? Like, he's like, everybody knows if you come to my house, we have the AED here. I doubt that's the truth. But anyways, okay, let's get going. We'll watch this, and we'll see how we do with audio. I think we'll do okay. I'm wearing headphones, which I don't usually like to do, but I am. So. But I have deadline.
Helps.
Right on Mario Duran, cause number 3A0518683, on for arraignment, underlying allegation 1 count of driving while license suspended in the 3rd degree. However, again, we do have a resolution in this matter.
I can't hear it.
Ms. Yale?
The city moves to amend driving with license suspended in the 3rd degree to no valid operating license in the 2nd degree and an agreed $200 fine under RCW.
You guys can hear it in the chat, I bet. If you, I'll mute you right now and then just raise your hand when you want to say something and then turn it up on your side. Unless everybody else can't hear. But I think they might be able to.
They're not telling us. They would be telling us.
Yeah, I know. You're very good at telling me that too. He has a kickball shirt on, says MB.
W46.20.015.
And he would like to accept that, would agree to the committed finding at the penalty. Unfortunately, he's got a judgment where the individuals have moved out of state, so it's been very difficult for him to try and reinstate. But he is aware of what needs to be done and is trying to actively work on getting his license back. Additionally, we did discuss those active warrants, Your Honor. He understands those are active now, and we'll also be getting those taken care of.
Okay, very good. Is the pronunciation of your last name, sir, is it Duran?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so Mario Duran is your true name?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Ms. Pimentel has told me you want to take advantage of the city's offer to indicate stipulated committed to the infraction of no valid operator's license, second degree, with an agreed penalty of $200. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Has anyone made any threats or promises to get you?
Okay, Sasheena, can you hear that? But now you muted on your end. Okay, but she can hear it. Okay, is there a difference between having your hat backwards or forwards in court, do you think? Like, is backwards better? In the chat, do you think
So,
backwards is better? Go, Sasheena.
so my problem is that I was listening to this on YouTube, but once you start talking to me, then
doubling
I
up.
can probably try to watch the third. Anyway, I will try to work on it from here, see what I can do. Okay.
I got you.
You to
It's in the chat for the backwards hat. Yes.
resolve your case this way?
No.
All right, then I will accept the city's motion to amend. I will accept your stipulation as to committed. I will impose the agreed upon penalty of $200, and that is to the infraction of no valid operator's license, second degree. I will allow that you can do payments towards that, do community service hours, or a combination thereof. Okay?
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. You take care. Good luck with all those other cases, and hopefully we can figure out a way to get your license back.
I know. I appreciate that, Your Honor. Thank you. Have a good day.
You too. Take care.
Bye.
Ma'am, if you can tell us your first and last name that just logged on.
Kitchen court chats.
Sorry, it was for me.
Yes, what's your first and last name?
Paulina Shutova. I'm scheduled for 11 a.m. I just decided to join earlier to test.
I'm going to send you an invitation to join a breakout room if you can accept that, and then an attorney will meet you in there in just a moment, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Now, off the 10:30 calendar, the only other individual that I see is Mr. Jackson. Looks like that should be ready in just a moment. I don't see anybody else has appeared.
All right, shall we go through the failures to appear on the 10:30 calendar?
Sure.
All right. First matter appears to be Sislinda Ovija, cause number 3A049140. Was on for arraignment. Court did make finding a probable cause. What is the city's request?
This is their first failure to appear. The city is not requesting a bench warrant.
All right, I'll note the defendant's failure to appear and will resummons. Next matter on the calendar is Janelle Amenabar, cause number 3.
I'll break in here. I hope Sasheena can hear me. We'll take it. We'll give her 1 minute to hear me. Just let's note, in Bothell, Washington, the first time you don't show up to court, they're cool with that. Like, seriously, they didn't even issue a bench warrant. Judge Simpson would be immediately issuing that bench warrant, and I think Judge Middleton even would too, in many other places. It's usually a good idea to show up at court. Would you agree, Sasheena?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
It's hard. Sometimes I think for people maybe that are neurodivergent or a little bit different, there's this huge worry about going to a place like that where in reality, most of the time, those people want to help you. They just need to have you there to help you.
I think that's one of the things that really touched my heart when I started really watching court was seeing how so many of these people really are about helping those who actually want to be helped.
Yes, and that's the key though, wanting to be helped, being willing and able to be helped. It's almost like your students, I would imagine, as a teacher, how not everybody wants to be there 100%. Maybe not everybody is engaged as you would like them to be, but you can't change everybody in that way. You can just meet people where they're at.
Yep.
Courts are very similar. Okay, let's keep going. Let's see what. Also, I also would like to say Sarah's forehead looks a lot better today because of the way that I've put her in this frame, but apparently she has a big forehead. And I'm not trying to be mean, but I was worried about my forehead size, but I just apparently have a forehead. She got a 5 head.
A05098816. Matter comes on for arraignment. Looks like she called and confirmed the next hearing date back at the beginning of the month on August 4th, but she's not here. Court did make a finding of probable cause. What is the city's request?
This is her third failure to appear. The city's requesting a bench warrant in the amount of $500.
Is the city intending to proceed with criminal prosecution if she appears?
The amendment would still be valid if she wants to go through an amendment.
All right. So I will note the defendant's failure to appear. Next matter on the calendar is Jerry Black, cause number 3A0457510. Matter comes on today for arraignment. And it failed to appear. Court has previously made a finding of probable cause.
Again, I'm not trying to beat a dead horse here, but seriously. How many times do you not have to come to court in Bothell, Washington for them to be like more than $500? We've seen heavy bonds for trespassing at different places. Anyways, also I do love this judge. She's a kitty corner above this lady here. Anyways, she has said some zingers before and I do love it. Presto, 3 times. 3 times you need to do it before they'll give you a $500 bond. Thank you guys again for being here. Presto is just super happy that we aren't in Clayton County because Clayton County be where Presto be, and when we all talk about the craziness there, I think it feels bad. I get that though. Love you, Presto. Also, hi CRD, welcome.
Is the city's request?
This is his fourth failure to appear. The city is requesting a bench warrant in the amount of $500.
Again, is the city's intent to proceed with criminal prosecution?
We would be open to the amendment.
I'll note the defendant's failure to appear. Next matter on the calendar is Roberto Bon.
Sorry, Presto, you're on. You want to do 20 minutes with me on the next Clayco County video? We'll do it. You want to talk about all the nasty that's happening in Clayton County? I'm in for it. We'll talk about it.
Gastelum, cause number 3A0455693. Matter comes on for arraignment. What is the city's request?
The city's not requesting a bench warrant, Your Honor.
Note the defendant's failure to appear and resummons. Next matter on the calendar is Shauna Burgess, cause number 3A0107774, comes on today for arraignment. What is the court has previously made a finding of probable cause. What is the city's request?
The city's not requesting a bench warrant.
Note the defendant's failure to appear and resummons. Next matter on the calendar is Rexford Denquois, cause number 3A0163951, comes on for arraignment. Defendant has been summoned to appear, is not here. The court has made a finding of probable cause. What is the city's request?
The city is not requesting a bench warrant.
Note the defendant's failure to appear. Next matter on the
Debs McC69, love the name. Where are you from? I'm from Canada, so we have barristers and solicitors in a way as well that wear wigs, but they don't always wear wigs. So I would love to know where you're from. Sasheena, did you know about that? You know about the parliamentary system where lawyers in Canada and the US, or not the US, but Australia and Britain often wear wigs, white wigs? Make them look like
Yeah.
old-fashioned people.
Yep. Yeah.
Do you think they'll smell?
No, God. I bet you for some, like everybody knows, old Judge Sanders. Oh my gosh. Nobody wants to go downwind of him. But then there's, some other judge.
Ew, everybody's got their own scent meter. Like, oh, Judge Sanders, I could not do a full hearing with him. Oh.
You know it's true.
I
It's
know.
true.
I know, but I'm sure he's Colonel Sanders from KFC.
With all those rotting breadcrumbs in his beard. Sorry. You're muted again. We can't hear you.
Damn it. So bad at pressing the button. It's like one button. That's all I have to press. Anyways, for those that are asking, I'm from British Columbia, Canada. Vancouver Island, to be exact, the southernmost tip. That's my humble brag for the day.
Calendar is the Salah Ezamoy, cause number 3A0426417. Matter comes on for arraignment. What is the city's? Looks like the defendant called a week ago and confirmed today's hearing by Zoom, but is not here. What is the city's request?
The city's not requesting a bench warrant.
Note the defendant's failure to appear and resummons. Next matter on the calendar is the Jeffrey Fuentes matter, cause number 3A0239758. Matter comes on for arraignment. Defendant was summoned to appear, is not here. Court has previously made a finding of probable cause. What is the city's request?
The city's not requesting a bench warrant.
Note the defendant's failure to appear and resummons. Next matter on the calendar is Brian, looks like Gentile, cause number 3A0192704. Matter comes on for arraignment. Defendant was summoned to appear, is not here. What is the city's request?
The city's not requesting a bench warrant.
Note the defendant's failure to appear. Next matter on the calendar is Monica Hargis.
What does the note for failure to appear say? Fail to appear. Cool. Love it. Do that next time too, Beach. Like what? As a teacher, if the kid fails to appear for class, what do you do?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm a squirrel kind of person where I get distracted. What was the question?
I said, as a teacher, if the kid fails to appear this many times, what would you have to do? You have to start involving people. This person's not coming to court.
Yeah, we have a really, really good, imagine, so remember the one woman we say looks like, what's his name from, I can't even think, but I think it's on the Bothell court, the one,
Steven Tyler.
the name.
Steven Tyler.
Yes, that's the one. Imagine that, only more biker dude / biker chick. That's our dean of students who actually does all of the student discipline, and they listen to her, and so when I get a problem, I call her or I send her an email. I almost never write kids up. I just let her know, because she knows that I don't care what she does. She can give them lollipops, bribe them with money, give them a ride on her horse, because she's got horses.
Give them a ride on her horse.
Whatever it takes to get them to stop the bad behavior and resume good behavior. That's what I want.
I'm all into it.
Some teachers get mad when the student isn't punished enough or whatever. I am not about punishment. I just want to change the behavior, which I think is why I like court.
Yeah, I used to think that court was very punitive, and it's not. It's really not as punitive as we think. I think the execution sometimes becomes punitive when we really treat people in prisons or jails poorly. But in reality, that's not what judges want. overarchingly, the amount of times I've seen a judge who say, I want to help you. I want you to be better. I want you to grow as a person and stop being a difficulty to society is 1,000 to 1. I think, again, that's when before I talked about the difficulty with people that have neurodivergent thoughts. You don't realize they're not mad at you. They're not all going to like, it's hard to realize that some people are truly out for the good of the community. Judge Middleton, even this judge here, like these people are being exceptionally lenient for certain things where we've seen people locked up for years for similar things. Anyways, Pizza Man, thank you for being here. Jay Fabe, there's a bunch of people here. Thank you guys for being here. Please make sure you've clocked in by hitting your like button. You know how helpful that is to me. And yeah, let's continue.
Cause number 3A0461532, matter comes on for arraignment. Defendant was summoned to appear and is not here. Court has made a finding of probable cause. What is the city's request?
The city's not requesting a bench warrant.
I'll note the defendant's failure to appear and resummons. Next matter on the calendar is the Tyrone Haywood cause number 3A0452363. Matter comes on for arraignment. Defendant was summoned to appear, is not here. The court has previously made a finding of probable cause. What is the city's request?
The city's not requesting a bench warrant.
Note the defendant's failure to appear and resummons. Next matter on the calendar is the Durante Jackson matter. I believe he's meeting with counsel. Is that correct? All right, we'll come back to that. Ryan Ramirez is the next matter. Cause number 3A0403473 comes on for arraignment. Defendant was summoned to appear, is not here. Court has made a finding of probable cause. What is the city's request?
The city's not requesting a bench warrant.
Note the defendant's failure to appear and resummons. Next matter on the calendar is the Julio Raimundo Mendoza matter, cause number 3A0539538 comes on for arraignment today. Court has had a chance to review the police reports, did make a finding of probable cause. Defendant was summoned to appear and is not here. What is the city's request?
The city's not requesting a bench warrant.
Note the defendant's failure to appear and resummons. Next matter on the calendar is the Tabitha Rodriguez matter, cause number 3A0294125. Matter defendant was summoned to appear, is not here. Court did make a finding of probable cause. What is the city's request?
The city's not requesting a bench warrant.
Yeah, Jay from Michigan in the chat saying this won't happen in Michigan. You get a failure to appear, you get a warrant. And I think that's pretty standard. Most listen to. Lisa's getting pissed off. Honestly, I think that this is FTA means failure to appear, Pizza Man. This is again, different in jurisdiction. This is very West Coast, my style. I understand it. Like, oh, laissez-faire. They maybe showed up next time because they thought it was last time, It's again, does it cost more money to go after them hard, or does it cost more money to deal with them later? So really, that's the question you're asking. Always going to get caught. Oh, Jonathan, welcome so much, friend. We are having a good time. After we finish this round of, I guess, failures to appear, that seems to be what it is in this one. Seriously, has anybody appeared for fucking court? Anyways, we're gonna watch a few of Sasheena's videos that she sent me. Then we're gonna finish with some bond court. It's gonna be a great evening. We're having a great time. Please make sure that you have liked and subscribed to the channel. We are on our way to 500. Well, we're on our way to 300, but we're also on our way to 500 and 5 million.
Next matter on the calendar is the Boubacar Saidi matter, cause number 3A0321503. Matter comes on for arraignment. Defendant was summoned to appear, is not here. Court has previously made a finding of probable cause. What is the city's request?
The city is not requesting a bench warrant.
Note the defendant's failure to appear. Next matter on the calendar is Lucas Smiley, cause number 37009. Matter comes on for arraignment. Defendant was summoned to appear, is not here. Court has previously made a finding of probable cause. City's request.
The city is not requesting a bench warrant. Would you like to do Mr. Jackson's matter now or just finish the calendar for the bench warrant?
Sorry, I didn't realize he was here. I'll note on that last matter, I'll note the defendant's failure to appear. And now back to the Jackson matter since he is here. Mr. Jackson, if you want to unmute your microphone and turn on your video, please.
Oh, hold on, my lights are up. Hold up. Sorry.
Hold on. What did he say? Hold on. My lights are down. What up? What did he just say? We gotta go back.
And now back to the Jackson matter since he is here. Mr. Jackson, if you want to unmute your microphone and turn on your video, please.
Oh, hold on, my lights are up. Hold up. Sorry.
That's okay. I can see you. We're good.
Okay.
All right. This matter comes on under cause number 3A05666474 for arraignment. Mr. McCluskey.
Thank you, Your Honor. And I do believe the city has a motion.
City moves to amend driveway license suspend in the 3rd degree to no valid operating license in the 2nd degree and an agreed $200 fine under RCW 46.20.015.
And Your Honor, defense has no objection to that amendment. We would waive formal filing.
All right. Mr. Jackson.
Yes.
Because you're here for arraignment, I need to confirm that Durante Isaiah Jackson is your true name.
Yes.
Did I pronounce everything properly?
Yes.
Good. I'm told that you would like to take advantage of the city's offer to amend to the infraction of no valid operator's license 2nd degree, that you'll indicate committed to that infraction with an agreed penalty of $200. Is that all correct?
Yes.
Anybody make any threats or promises to get you to do that?
No.
All right. I will accept the city's motion to amend. I will accept your stipulation as committed to that infraction, and I will impose the agreed upon penalty of $200. I will allow that you can do payments towards that, do community service hours, or a combination thereof. Okay?
Okay. Thank you.
That should conclude this matter. Take care.
You too. I can leave or?
Leave. Yep.
Okay.
All right.
Peace out.
All right. I believe that was the last matter on the 10:30 calendar. Let's go ahead and continue. The next matter on the calendar is the Daniel Trichiak matter, cause number 3A0426421 on for arraignment. Court has previously made a finding of probable cause. The defendant was summoned to appear, is not here. What is the city's request?
The city is not requesting a bench warrant. I just want to make sure, did we do the Torres matter? Maybe I missed it myself.
I believe I noted the failure to appear.
Okay, thank you.
Correct, Madam Clerk?
I'm sorry, no, Your Honor, we did not address that one.
Oh, all right. So
as usual, the person in charge in a courtroom ain't the judge and it ain't no lawyer. It is the administrator in that courtroom who tells them both, no, you both need to do this again. I think that's funny. We see that every time and time again. There's actually an administrator in the back end doing all the work. Hi, Hayden Harris, by the way. What do you think, Sasheena? I know you know I'm right. The admin is a huge part of court.
Absolutely. They run the show. They run the show everywhere, from the president of all the way down to kindergarten. The admin and particularly the secretaries, they get it done. You know, other people make decisions, but they make it happen.
Oh, that's a great way to put it. So people are making decisions, but if that person isn't willing to make it happen, it ain't happening yet. And we've seen people, and they are generally women. Let's be realistic here. That position is overwhelmingly held by women. And they are the sort of the workhorse of a court. I think, and we do see a lot of recognition from a lot of judges, but not from every judge. And I do appreciate it when we see somebody like Judge Manning, or even there's a few other judges I've heard say, "I heard you were rude to my court clerk." Oh, that ain't happening. No, 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 no.
When I have a substitute and I learn that my kids have been bad to the sub, oh my gosh, they feel the wrath from me, because it's like, it's one thing when you mouth off to me, it's way different when you're mean and awful to my sub, because then that just looks bad on me, you know.
I do remember that as a kid. I remember getting away with a lot more and pushing the lot further with a teacher, but knowing they would treat their subs very well. So I better do the same, because they would get a report at the end every day. And I'm just going to say my name was always on that report.
We'll conclude, I guess, first off, we'll go back to the Torres matter. On the Torres matter, the defendant failed to appear, was summoned to appear, is not here, and the court has made a finding of probable cause. What is the city's request?
The city's not requesting a bench warrant.
I'll note the defendant's failure to appear and resummons. Now, on the Daniel tri-attack matter, again, defendant has failed to appear. Defendant was summoned to appear, is not here. Court has found probable cause. What is the city's request?
The city is not requesting a bench warrant.
Note the defendant's failure to appear and resummons. Next matter on the calendar is the Lords Vesquez matter, cause number 3A0311911. Comes on for arraignment. Defendant was summoned to appear, is not here. Court has previously made a finding of probable cause. What is the city's request?
The city is not requesting a bench warrant.
I'll note the defendant's failure to appear and resummons. Next matter on the calendar is the Oliver Vesquez Ortiz matter, cause number 3A0.
Oh, look, we had somebody that did show up for court today. What's your kitty cat's name? Oh, you're still muted.
His official name is Jinx, but I just call him Bubby.
Bubby. Hey, Bubby. Hi, Bubby. Oh, look. See what happens when you come to court? You get little scritches on your belly and hanging with mama. I love that, Bubby. That's so cute. Again, I apologize for picking the calendar where well, I don't really. I think this is even better to show. Like, some courts are not to be trifled with. Apparently in Bothell, it don't matter if you show up or not.
045605. Matter comes on for arraignment today. Defendant was summoned to appear, is not here. What is the city's request?
The city is not requesting a bench warrant.
Court will note the defendant's failure to appear. And last matter on the 10:30 calendar is the Michael Stephen Walker matter, cause number 3A01927006. This matter comes on for arraignment. Court did make a finding of probable cause after reviewing the police reports. Defendant was summoned to appear, is not here, and I was just checking. This is not the individual. All right. What is the city's request?
The city is not requesting a bench warrant.
Note the defendant's failure to appear and resummons. And I believe that concludes the 10:30 calendar. I know we had one individual who was here from the 11 o'clock calendar, but it doesn't look like that's quite ready to proceed yet.
They are so strict about the time of day, but they ain't strict about when you show up. Hold on one second. I'm going to bring up some of what Sasheena has sent me to show you guys from her channel. And this is part of what I'm really excited about with this bi-weekly Friday special that we're going to be doing, Follow Friday. We are going to be checking out some of what Sasheena loves from her channel, and also some of what she wants us to see. I don't know if they always overlap. Sometimes you're like, this is my best work. I don't like it, but this is our best work. Like, that happens to me quite a bit of the time when I'm like, I don't really want to show people this, but this is the best I got. Is that just me or what? Just me. Okay. No, just kidding. Hold on, guys, while I bring up Sasheena's stuff here. And then we were gonna finish with one more bond court hearing. I swear to God, yes, you did email me. Did I hear the cat? Is that the cat? Oh my God.
He's been a complainer since the day he came home to us. He complains when you give him love. He complains when you don't give him love. He doesn't kind of comprehend that there should be a difference.
He's just mad at both. He's like, I don't like either of these things that are happening. Okay, so we're gonna start off with Buddy. So let's take a moment and remember that Buddy is an animal that Sasheena had on her farm before that she intended to love. She intended to keep as a pet. Buddy became murderous, and we don't know why. Okay, but it did. And we all know you gotta just you gotta take care of your shit when that happens. And so we have here a few seconds. I don't even care if the audio is fine, Sasheena. I'm sure it will be. You guys, I will also be leaving the link. Sasheena has 136 subscribers at the moment. Really expect that to go up after tonight's stream. I'll like this video because that's what we do around here. You can like or you can dislike, but you got to do one or the other. That's your role, okay?
Full stream.
All good? We're going to watch some of Buddy here first, and then we're going to watch your Bubbles one, right?
Cubeville.
Cube. Okay, so there's a great example of how I listen. Okay, she said Cubeville. She spoke to me about Cubeville, how important it was to her, and I made that Bubbles in my head. But the reason that we're still friends is because she understood that I meant Cubeville when I said Bubbles, even though Bubbles are generally round.
This is Buddy.
Yeah, so this is Buddy.
Buddy is. He says, "Thank you for exposing this bush. I will now eat it." But, oh well, bush, that's what you get for being too short.
Look at those
There was
horns.
a huge manzanita. In fact, there were like 3 of them that I ended up clearing out. I exposed this nice, somewhat rotting log, but those are pretty. And
I
gotta interject. Tell me about it. Walking in the forest with Buddy. Tell me about it.
We would go walking in the forest, and sometimes the other sheep would follow me. Buddy always followed me, always hung out with me. When he was born, his mama rejected him, so the people who raised him kept him in the house, put diapers on him, and loved him for the first 3 months. And then it became clear he had some neurological issues, so they fixed him so that he could stay as a companion. And then he and his brother were sold. His brother is a ram, to another guy who then sold them both to me. And so I kept them together, and I loved Buddy because he was the friendliest sheep we had. I mean, he came running up to you like a puppy dog every single time. I literally had ideas of training him to pull a cart. He was just the friendliest animal on the planet, which in many ways made his sudden decision to try to murder me all the harder to deal with because I loved him. I mean, I literally, of all of the animals, he was the one that least likely to be sold on. I loved him. But I also kind of value life and not having to worry about being murdered every time I went out into the barn. So, it was a hard choice.
Oh gosh, it sounds to me so hilarious because there's such a loving relationship. Was there something that happened? Was there a triggering event that made Buddy fall out of love with you? Like,
well, I have a theory. My theory is that when his people decided to get him fixed and not let him procreate, I'm thinking that he had an undescended testicle. And so when the vet did their thing, he had one still there and one was gone. And because of that, he couldn't make babies, but he could think he was a ram. And because he thought he was a ram and it was getting to be breeding season, he thought I was a contestant for the love of the ewes, which you've got to watch out for rams in breeding season. So, and
you have
that's what
to watch out for all men in breeding season. And breeding season is every day for humans. So
yeah.
that means
So,
every day, ladies. No, I'm just joking.
but the thing is,
Don't laugh
I
at
couldn't.
Buddy.
Well, I loved him. I really did. Which made it hard. And that first meal I had was doubly hard. But I also, I mean, I had to make
That first meal after I had killed him, it was real tough. But he was delicious. And especially that last 2 weeks I spent fattening him up. That was real worth it.
He had a really good life though. I mean, he spent 3, months of his life as an indoor animal, and had no job other than to be a companion to the ram. And I sold the ram, and the ram was really abusive. He would beat up on Buddy all the time. But once that ram left, he thought he was numero uno, which is why I was having baby sheep lambs getting born in the middle of the summer, because Buddy wouldn't let my real ram breed. So he kept the ladies for himself, even though he couldn't give me any babies.
That undescended testicle gives problems to rams and boys. I'm hearing people question in the chat, what did he taste like? Was he delicious? Was he better than any other?
Absolutely. Super
The best.
and just very flavorful and tender. I mean, he was a couple years old, and he really was yummy. And the rest of my family can't quite bring themselves to enjoy. I mean, they'll taste a few things, but basically, I'm eating the sheep by myself.
And that's why every night when I ask everybody what they've had for dinner, Sasheena reminds me of Buddy in the form of a burrito or Buddy in lasagna. And we love it.
He wasn't a lamb, as you can see. You can make more puns. It's more punny to use lamb, than weather.
Listen, I can use ram. I think he's a half ram.
Oh yeah, he's a ram burrito.
He was in, let's say he was in transition. Halfway. Oh God. Okay, let's finish watching this one. Then, did you include the Cubeville one on this email too?
I think I did. We don't have to watch this whole video. We only see him.
No, we'll watch a few more seconds here, and then we'll switch over to the next one. Everybody that's getting here, please make sure to go ahead and like the video. Make sure that you have clocked in for your shift. Sheena, somebody says, so what is mutton then? Like, can you explain the difference to us?
So way back when there was a marketing ploy
that's what you get for being too short.
Try to get people more into buying certain meats. So they started calling basically the fully adult but young sheep, they called them lamb, and then the ones that were not in their first year, they called those mutton. It's the same thing. And literally, when you hear lamb, you think about those cute baby lambs, but nobody eats cute little baby lambs. They get to grow up and be adults, and then they get eaten.
Okay, and so it is basically the same animal at a different age. Then is what you're telling me. Same animal, different age. So mutton is a sheep. Jay from Michigan is saying. Interesting. So but they don't sell sheep, do they? Do they sell just mutton and lamb, but no sheep?
Just mutton and lamb. And then there's a lot of people who have, issues. It's just a mental block. The crazy thing is that pound for pound, sheep are a lot less expensive to raise than cows. And they're sold at kind of a premium price. I mean, I think right now in Canada, they're going for about $4.50 to $5 a pound, which basically means that if you bring an animal that's just made it to market weight, you get $500 per animal.
Damn, buddy. Good job, Buddy. I mean, seriously. And so it looks to me like Buddy is out here in a terrain that might not be normally edible to all types of animals. So is he able to work in areas where you wouldn't normally put other animals so that they can work that land into different types of land?
Yes, so he's a Jacob sheep, and Jacob sheep are what's called a heritage breed. There's about 7,000 of them. They're really not that common here in the United States, but they what they are is more primitive. They haven't been specially super bred to be this characteristic or that. So they are a lot more self-sufficient. Like I get them food, I get them hay and a little bit of grain now and again, but they eat bushes and trees and they have basically the main reason I was able to convince my dad to buy all the infrastructure was that they would start to clear out the underbrush and reduce fire risk. That's their job.
Okay. Yeah, so I've heard of people doing that with hogs and pigs in their land as well. So they might start with the hogs coming into an area, and then they'll bring in the sheep next, and then they might follow that with a round of chickens, and each
And
one of them and then goats too, and is able to get a different part of that environment taken care of. I think that only works though when you have a sort of all around environment for the animals. Can't be like, oh, we normally feed them all this processed shit and then we want them to do this. Like that has to be their lifestyle, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess, I mean, I again live in the city and I don't eat lamb very much, but I would try some lamb. I mean, I would try Buddy. I would try Buddy. Okay, hold on. Let me find our next video that we're going to be watching. Tell me what the best lamb meal that you've made thus far. Is there one that you prefer hand over fist above the others?
Well, I think it's about the different cuts. So some of the animal is, kind of like the most expensive to buy in the market. Now the rack of lamb I'm going to be cooking, that's kind of the most expensive. So we'll see how that goes. But I had something they called it top sirloin, and it was to die for. It was the first thing I ate, and it just melts. I mean, super rich, super yummy. And I've heard it's a lot more nutritious than most than other kinds of, especially factory raised animals. I know what he's been eating, and that's the best part.
Yeah, and a lot of that, wouldn't it be safe to say that you are able to recycle a lot of your scraps towards other animals on your farm as well? So there's a lot less waste going out than you would get in the average city home. Like
Yeah,
even eggshells, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, I give the eggshells to the chickens because they recycle them to make new eggshells.
Oh, well, that does make sense. So oh, they're already broken, I would imagine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well,
Okay.
Sometimes if I get an egg that's cracked, I'll just throw it on the ground and it opens, and they gulp up the insides, they gulp up the outsides. They love cooked chicken.
No way. They do not.
Absolutely.
The chickens like eating cooked chicken. I like eating cooked chicken. It tastes delicious. Oh my gosh.
So.
Okay. Okay, so, and how do you have chickens right now too?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
How many chickens?
To be honest, I do not know because my niece
humble brag. That's a humble brag right there. I don't know how many chickens I have.
Well, she decided to try to hatch them. So she ordered some eggs. She ordered half a dozen of this breed and half a dozen of that breed, and only 2 of the one breed actually hatched. And then she cracked all the second breed. None of them were even fertile. And now she's gotten some more eggs, and we've took some from under a couple of our chickens to see if she can, hatch some more in her new incubator. And we got like 11 new chickens earlier this summer. So
do you have any broody hens or anything like that you would let hatch their own?
We do have some broody hens, but we're not quite sure whether the cats would actually let those chicks live. I find them,
I guess so. I mean, so again, you can tell I mean, I live in the city. I've never owned a chicken, but I'm like, I know what to do when your pet is broody because I'm weird like that. Okay, tell us a little bit about this cube thing that I'm about to show up on the screen because that's what I'm going to share here now. And I want to hear your explanation of it. We're going to play the whole thing, and the audio you said is good, so we're good with that. So we're gonna let this play, but before we start, I want you to tell me about it.
So I started making some animations, and part of it came down from a geometry concept where if you make a cube 5 times bigger, the new volume isn't 5 cubes, it's 125 cubes. So I decided to try to illustrate that by making this one cube expand to 5 by 5 by 5. And then I decided each cube had to be sort of its own unique thing, but coming up with 125 unique animations was a little hard. And so this is one of the ones where I felt like it was more successful than most, the way the animation turned out. So I figured that the show and, you know,
So
kind of.
you have to explain a little bit back to me because you know I've failed math many times. I've talked about this before. We failed math 8, math 9, math 10, math 10, but yet I worked at the bank, so I understand numbers. Mayor, if you're taking off, thank you. Listen, so okay. So you're trying to illustrate that how exponentially bigger the number gets, basically?
Right. So if I make something, if I think about one sugar cube, right? And if I want to make something that's twice as big, it's going to be twice as wide. It's going to be twice as long and twice as tall. So instead of only having one cube, you actually end up getting 4 and then 4 more. So you have to have 8 where you had 2 before. So when you do volume, it's length times width times height. So each of those we're making twice as big. So length times 2, height times 2, whatever the other one times 2. So volume is 8 times bigger because it's the how much bigger. So if it's twice as big, we're taking that number and we're multiplying.
So is this the equation for thick with 3 C's? Is that what this equation is for? When you're getting to be thick, the volume is going big? I don't know. I'm kidding, but seriously, no, in reality, the way you're saying it does make sense. But what I think you've done here is you've gone ahead and actually made it visual for people.
Like Minecraft. I don't know. I never.
Okay. Okay, let's watch this together. We'll see what we think. You guys, please make sure that you've subbed to the channel. You've liked the video already. We're with Sasheena here, who I will link in the description and put on my channel as the first channel we had on our Follow Friday account. And we'll get going. We're not doing math. We're just having fun.
No math. Better with the sound.
Can you guys that? I can hear. How quick did that minute go by and we saw each one? Hold on. I love it. So is that part of the way?
Sorry, what? I can't hear you.
Is that one of the ways that you teach your students? Sorry, is what I was trying to say. With the different visuals instead of, and with the music, which made it just go by super fast.
Yeah, I try to come up with all kinds of ways to reach them that are completely out there. So
I love it. I mean, again, this is something where I wasn't diagnosed with ADD till later in life, and so a lot of these things didn't make sense to me. And I also don't have a visual imagery center. I have aphantasia, so seeing this is the only way I'm ever going to see this. When somebody says visualize something, there's never going to be a visual image. And so being able to actually see that would be so helpful for me as a kid. Aw, and Courtney says the way it rumbled when the cube landed made her happy. Love that when you really like get into those little nuances and niche little parts of it. That's great.
One thing
So
I
you
wanted to
guys,
add.
no, add it. Yeah.
So one thing I wanted to add is that I actually failed every math class I ever took in high school. I dropped out because I couldn't pass math at all. I eventually did go back. I got my degree. I went on to major in math, but math was my nemesis. I understand. I do.
Wow. So that's incredible to me that not only did you get through life, but you went back and you got a degree in math, really showing math who was boss. Sasheena was boss. No, but seriously, that's really amazing. And what was the change? What made you able to do that in college or later studies, but not in elementary or in secondary school?
I remember my freshman teacher in high school, and I remember like Regier, from Webster's Court, the one who everybody says is like
The AI? Yeah,
yeah,
Jay
he was
Regier.
kind of, and he would talk in a monotone, and he would never look at the class, and he said one thing personal about himself once, and I was like shocked. I thought, oh my gosh, I thought they just plugged him in at night in the cabinet or something. I didn't know he was a real human. And at the end of the first semester, like I would get A's on the tests, but I would fail the class because I had not turned in any homework. And so he said, look, if you will leave my class, I will give you a passing grade. Otherwise, I will give you a failing grade if you insist on staying in my class. So I went to the pre-algebra level, which of course was boring for me because I understood it. I just couldn't pass it. And I just kept crashing because I wasn't interested enough. Then I went to college and I had this college class that was basically pre-algebra. And I had this dinky little teacher who was like 4.5 feet tall. And he came running in, he had a blob of mustard in the corner of his mouth, and he's teaching, and finally he's like, what? Oh. and he laughed at himself, and he laughed at mistakes that he made, and he accepted the fact that he was human. And I was interested because he was interesting. And I really learned that there's a lot about how the student perceives the teacher that makes them want to learn. Like I have seen it again and again and again. You show a little bit of interest in a kid or demonstrate you have a similar interest outside of math, they will start to realize, oh, okay. And if they open their mind up to me as a human being, they will open their mind up to learning from me. And it doesn't work with every child. It really doesn't. Kids like Regier, they don't like my classroom, which I will show you another time. I'll make a video and show how crazy it is. Regier would go crazy in my classroom. But I try to reach the kids who are least likely to succeed. The ones like Regier, I mean, you can imagine, I'm sure he went through calculus straight A, never a problem. He might have hated some of his teachers, but he still probably did just fine. So I reach the kids that need reaching the most. And that's what I try to do. Math is a dragon sitting on the pathway of success, keeping kids from realizing their dreams. And I want them to know that this does not have to be an obstacle that keeps you from realizing your dreams. I want them to know that you can hate it completely, but don't let it be that dragon. So I think of myself as a bit of a dragon slayer, and I tell them that that's what I'm there for.
I love that. And I've told the story many times. While I was failing math, I was at the exact same time working at a bank as a teller every single day doing real life math that mattered. And for some reason, when people's bank accounts were involved or checks that they're cashing or bills they're paying or foreign exchange that we're converting, all of a sudden it wasn't math anymore. It was just a job. It was a task and I had to balance at the end of the day. And so it was very disconcerting to me to be real world good at something, but in school unequivocally failing almost every time in math. And a lot of teachers passed me out of pity. They would give me, I have many 51% where they said, I just need you done. I don't want to see you again. And the reality, once again, was I was sort of fine with that because I was en route to become a branch manager of a bank. I became licensed to sell mutual funds in Canada, which is like selling mutual funds in the States, when I was failing math. Again, I thought it was so weird because real world math made a lot of sense to me. But putting it in abstract really didn't help me at all. And so I'm never going to probably be an algebra lady or a I probably will never get those. But I did have one story about a teacher that really inspired me. And I remember he would read to us when, during class or during school, there would be an open reading time when he would read stories to us. And he would get so excited sometimes. He was a draft dodger from the US. So he was trying to avoid the Vietnam War. And he came up to Canada and was teaching us here. So he had this Southern accent. He would call me Pays. Okay, Pays. And he was also my track coach, which helped, right? I was a great track runner, and so he would be great. But anyways, he would read these stories, and he would get so into it. He would always wear this button-down shirt with a t-shirt underneath, and he would unbutton the button-down shirt and wave it around his head. And then they came round and round, and he was so excited about it, and it was so cute. And Larry, the teacher, I won't say his last name, but he still every year on my birthday calls me on my birthday and says happy birthday. I'm 35 years old now, and I was in his class in the 5th grade. And he still calls me every year on my birthday. And there's just teachers like that sometimes that stand out, that even though I didn't do very well in school, he believed in me in other ways. He knew I could do cool things. And then when I was pregnant, I thought, oh, I better go visit that teacher, see what he thinks. Where should I send her to school? And I walked into the school and they were doing parent teacher conferences, and he was in with a parent. And he goes, oh, please, come on in. And I'm like, oh no, Larry, it's okay. He's like, no, come on in. And then he does the same thing. He rips off the button-down shirt. And he goes, I'm wearing your picture. And I'm like, what? And he had all of our class pictures made into t-shirts every year. And he wore those as his undershirts. And he was like, what are the odds? Because he didn't know I was coming down that day, which was very sweet. Again, none of what I learned in school necessarily translated automatically to what I do now in life. And I think that part of it was just being willing to learn and try new things and not be worried about failing. And that's a lot of what a teacher can give to a student and to a youth who's growing up, maybe without great parents at home or maybe with great parents at home. But either way, there's a lot of ways a teacher can inspire confidence in a kid. Now, what I'm gonna do is bring up our last bit of court that we're gonna watch tonight. I'm having a great time with you. Oh, look, there's Mikey. Hi, Mikey. Hope you're doing well. Sasheena's here with me. We're talking about math, which I didn't understand, but I thought it was so great how she taught everybody the math. And now we're about to watch court. Sasheena, what brought you to court? Can you tell me that? Because I'm not sure I know why you're here with us. And it's not that I don't want you here. I just want to know more. Tell me why.
I think it was partly the algorithm, but partly I was sucked into watching the case where the two guys ran down that black guy and shot him dead, in Georgia. I don't remember there anymore. But anyway, there was like a 5 or 6 day trial, and I watched it. And I even watched some of it live. Most of it I didn't because I had to work and all that stupid work. But I watched that and I thought that's fascinating. But then YouTube, because I pretty much only watch YouTube, but I don't watch anything on the TV machine. But then it kept offering me different, court channels. And I saw some of old Squishy's stuff. And I thought, well, this is interesting. And so I started watching that. And then that led me to Biggin. And then Biggin led me to Time Served, who led me to you.
Wonderful. Well, what happened to me, I watched court the first time a long time ago with the Casey Anthony case, which was back in 2010. I was a new mother and very similar in age to Casey Anthony, and they showed it live on um, some news site, and they had a chat. And I remember for like 6, 8 weeks going to this chat, and it was flying. I mean, there were 30,000 people in the chat, but still, you could get your message out there. And somebody sometimes would say, I saw that. I hear you, and respond, which is what I love about YouTube and this community that we have. And so I watched every day, every minute of that trial. And then I supplemented the other time from like Nancy Grace, ashamed to admit it, but Nancy Grace, HLN network. And after that, I I looked for it, but I didn't really find it until I came back to YouTube just before the pandemic and found a lot of online court. But I want to rewatch the Casey Anthony trial in full because the antics that went on during that trial, I didn't even realize then how crazy that trial was. But damn, it was crazy.
Cellulite yoga pants. She mentioned also Steve Leto. I watch him also, and I think that's part of what the YouTube algorithm caught on to. Is it's like it kept offering me up options. I mean, I was watching sheep videos and airplane videos and car crash videos, but then I started watching Steve Leto, and then I got recommends that eventually sucked me right in, and yeah, I think that was a big part of it. And I think that it's fascinating to watch good lawyering. I think that's the big thing. It's fascinating to watch. It's kind of like football. I like football because I like the fact that there's this intricate choreography and sets of rules that people try to break and get around the rules so they can get an advantage. But you've got your referee / judge. These are the things that I really, really like about court, especially good court. I love watching the advocates, the different lawyers. I love watching them do this ritualized dance around truth and fiction and rules and judges. And I think that's why I really appreciate the public defenders, because they have a rough job, especially when they have some total scuzzball that they have to represent. What they do is they diligently represent their client, not because they have any passion for getting that particular person off, but because they're representing the rule of law. They're representing the entire system. And they might not want their guy to get off, but they want the system to work, and they know it will only work if you have passionate advocates for both sides, even if it's the worst creep in the world.
I hear what you're saying, and I think I think that's why I like and appreciate Dismissal Dan so much, even though some people don't like Dismissal Dan because for whatever reason. For him, I think that there is so much to be said for requiring the rule of law to be followed in favor of the little guy. The court gets the dealer, the house wins so many times. This is a different time. I think it's really appropriate for that to be different. Now, okay, what we're queuing up here, although, listen, I see all of your guys' opinions about Casey Anthony. I'm loving it and reminded why we must do this trial in its entirety. Because what Sasheena said earlier is it's wonderful to see great lawyering, but let's be honest, it's better to see bad lawyering. And we love it. It is so good when people are shitty at being lawyers. Okay? It's fun. We love it. They fucking suck. And you wonder, why am I not a lawyer if this person can be a lawyer? No, but seriously. And so Jose Baez in that hearing was a fucking like douche. He tried his hardest, but that was the way it was. Anyways, we're gonna watch a clip from Hector Clips, who's also linked on the channel. Another person who thankfully sends me things sometimes. That's good. Oh, so she wants to talk. I'll be quiet.
So I was just gonna say, you say you want to kind of re-show the whole Casey Anthony thing. I think it would be awesome to like pick one day of the week, like Friend Friday every other week or whatever, like you're doing now. It might be good to, Retro Thursday or something. I don't know. Come up with a
throwbacks or Throwback Thursday.
Throwback Thursday. There you go. And then I knew there was something. And we could watch, a snippet of it on Thursdays. And I think I would get bad if it was like every single day. That I have trouble following the channels that have all of these big, huge chunks day after day after day in a row. That it just feels like a burden to have to try to go through all of those. But if it's something that comes in little chunks on a particular day, I'd be more keen on that, I think. Especially if it's a trial. Like, I've never seen the Casey Anthony trial.
You never saw it. So here's the thing. The way that I'm going to do that trial is we're taking 6 full weeks of 8-hour days. We ain't talking about just a little bit. I'm not cutting it. We're watching it. We want to see the sidebars, okay? Because that's where the magic happened. Because her lawyer was like the scummy jailhouse lawyer that you hire whose jail, like whose number is engraved above the payphone. Like, and he pulled every punch in the book. And here's the thing, like, I admire KLF who can put together these series. Like, I wish I could do that, girl. I wish I could, okay? I can't. I got demonetized doing that, or trying. So that's not the way that I'm going to do it. It'll be a little bit more campy. I don't know what you would say. It'll be more me. But we'll probably do like a full day where we watch. It'll take us a while, but I think that'll be good over time. I think that'll be a really good sort of weekly interlude of something that we'll do. Also, it'll keep us from getting too upset because we have to remember that it's already happened. I was super invested in it when it happened, and it hurt me inside. Like, we all know the verdict, so there's no hiding that part about it. But anyways, like I said, I did see Hector here in the chat. Hector, thank you so much for being here. You are awesome. Thank you for sending me this clip. We're gonna watch it here. They have something extra to say to the judge. See the cases in description. Well, we're gonna trust you, Hector. We've got another 20 minutes in us before we go for the night. Guys, if you are just getting here, please go ahead and like the video by clicking the like button. You know how to do that. If you're new here and you don't know how to do that, I guess come talk to us about that. We'll explain how to like a video. I don't really know what you want me to do about that. Jesus Christ. Also, Hector, do you want to come on the show with me and do a workout? I remember one time you asked me to do a workout video. I would do a workout video with you, Hector.
I neglected to ask you if you requested the court appointment of a lawyer. Probably a court appointment. Thank you, sir.
They're just showing us all of them. What an angle. How did they even get the camera? Where is it? On the ceiling fan?
Señor Cabrera, usted se acusa de agresión.
No, I can't have the one where there's transition because I feel just a failure. We're just going to get here we go.
Muy bien, gracias. Savage, and it requires that you not commit any act of family violence or any stalking with regard to that individual, that you don't communicate any threats or harassment to him, any member of his household or family, that you not go within 200 yards of the, sure of the spelling of that location.
Sure, the spelling of location. Is he looking at it? Why can't he see it?
Drive here in Austin. Now, this is a limited time order. Runs from now until midnight on the 20th of October. And after that, it will be concluded. You asked for the court appointment of a lawyer.
Yes, please.
Thank you.
So I want to ask you if maybe if me and my husband got into a fight, but there was no, I didn't hurt him or anything. I was wanting to see if maybe you could maybe reduce my bond to maybe something lower or maybe even zero, so I could possibly get out of here, since me and him had a quarrel and stuff, but since I didn't get involved in it.
Speak to your lawyer about this and perhaps.
A quarrel. Sasheena, could you tell me another few words for fight that you might use in one of your novels that you've written or that you're writing? Well, you're muted, so. You still can't hear her. I'm going to guess what she's saying. She's saying a fracas. It's a fracas we're having. And she's like, no, I'm definitely kidding. I don't know why she's muted. Okay, we'll continue on. But because I didn't touch anything, I swear to God. She looks surprised. Anyways, we'll continue on. I love it when people say different ways, like, oh, we had a quarrel.
Perhaps with more better information than I have at this point, that might be possible.
So you could lower the bill?
I am not going to do that at this time.
Okay.
DeAndre Curry.
I like
Curry,
ha.
Sir, you're charged with resisting arrest, search, or transportation, a Class A misdemeanor. Bail set in that matter at $5,000. Further, you're charged with assault on a peace officer, second-degree felony. Bail set at $15,000. You ask.
How is that possible? How can I swing or assault a police officer if I'm in handcuffs?
Sir, we're not discussing anything further at this point. Talk to your lawyer. Both you and your lawyer are going to get a copy of this thing.
How much the bill is?
Bail is set at $5,000 in resisting. Bail set at $15,000 in the assault. Now, do you ask for the court appointment of a lawyer, or are you going to hire one? You ask for the court appointment, or are you going to hire one? By yourselves, I take it that your request one be court
What's up
appointed.
about my PR bond?
Pardon?
A personal bond, PR bond.
That ain't happening.
Yeah.
You ask for the court appointment of a lawyer.
That ain't happening, he says. That's hilarious.
No
Also, I
answer on the
my
brief.
videos so we could
Determine
get
that
some
you are.
better quality.
Go ahead and have a seat. Elder Galicia Ramirez. González Ramírez Santiago. Okay. Señor, a usted se acusa de manejar un automóvil con un estado de embriaguez, delito menor clase A. Se acusan que usted ha sido condenado de esta ofensa en el pasado. Y por eso es un delito menor clase A en vez de delito menor clase B. La fianza $6,000 y usted tendrá que tener puesto en su automóvil lo que se llama un arrancador de corrientes, algo en que uno sopla si ah, ah, el aparato mete que alcohol en la respiración no permite que aprenda el auto. Señor, ¿usted va a pedir que se nombre un abogado o va a contratar? Nombre un abogado. ¿Mande? Es el nombre de un abogado. Muy bien, gracias. Y
Is this the judge speaking Spanish?
ok, muchas gracias. Obed Hernández Rueda. Señor, usted tiene dos acusaciones en contra. Uno, la posesión de una sustancia controlada, está haciendo la cocaína. Crimen
I know what
grave de
cocaína means. I know what cocaína means. I don't know what the rest means, but I know what cocaína means. Oh, sir. Oh, no. Oh, no. Also, Hector's just informed me that this judge conducts the hearings in Spanish or English personally. Muy bien, Hector. Muy bien. Also, thank you guys for putting all of the different words for fight or like all that in the chat. Means so much to me. We're going to make this a reference, a wiki one day where people can just come to learn these things. That's what this will be.
tercer nivel, la fianza $10,000. Además, se acusa de manejar un automóvil con de embriaguez, delito menor, clase A. Que acusan que el nivel del alcohol neutral fue más que .15. Esto quiere decir que es un delito menor clase A en vez de delito menor clase B. Usted va a contratar con su propio abogado o necesita uno de oficio. No de oficio. Muy bien. Muchas gracias, señor. Que tenga buenas noches.
Picture, we're skipping down a little bit. I want to see this girl at the front. Her turn.
Soy Pérez. De detención por el servicio migratorio.
Are we going to see her?
With regard to two other things. One is district of more than 100. Bail set
Also,
$5,000
yeah.
on that. And then there's unlawful possession of firearm by a felon. Bail is
She did working
set at
because it's Friday
$20,000
night in
in that
Canada,
one.
okay? And everybody just sits at home on Friday nights in Canada. So we are coming to the end of our available internet time. They're like, Paisley, you've exceeded your internet allocation for the month or for the week. Anyways, we're going to finish off these things here quickly, and then we are going to be done for the evening. I want you guys to make sure you subscribe to Sasheena's channel, which I will link in the chat right now. And also Hector, also Mikey, also Kay, also Colin, everybody. Let's make sure that we sub to all of our friends. It's important to help each other. What happened to the blonde lady in the front row? It's crazy. Where was it, Hector? Did I skip it? No, I don't want crazy. I don't want to miss crazy. Okay. Is that her coming out? I don't see no blonde hair. I'm looking. Oh, there it was. There's her little blonde head. Fucking atrocious rude.
Nicole Roberts. Evening, ma'am. Ma'am, you're charged with assault causing bodily injury, family violence matter, being set 15,000. You're to be evaluated by Travis County Counseling and Educational Services if you're released on bail. You ask for the court appointment of a lawyer in this case, ma'am?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Ignacio Ismael Romero.
I don't know. That's not working very well. Well, listen, Sasheena, here's the thing. I hope you can hear me. I don't know if she can. She can't hear me. She can pretend to hear me, but she can't hear me. I think you guys can hear me. Did I say atrocious? Oh, she can hear me. There she goes, shaking her head. I love it. I love the hair. It was the other lady in the front row, Hector. Is she towards the brown haired girl? You my brown girl. Sha la 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 da. She didn't move. Hector, I don't know how to do it. I'm sorry, sir. I'm sorry, sir. Let me just scrub on back and see if I. Oh, there, I found her. Okay. This is the last one we're going to do.
Ms. Riley? Ms. Riley? Ma'am, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. Class B misdemeanor. Bail set at $3,000. You are being released on a personal bond. You asked for the court appointment of a lawyer.
For now, I may get my own, but for now, I just.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
This court is so short. They're short with everything, Hector. Listen, we're going to do this another day as well. I can't hear Sasheena anymore, which is unfortunate. She can't talk, but she was so lovely to have on the stream. I'm going to say goodbye to her. You guys can all say goodbye as well. We're going to add her onto the channel to make sure that you sub to. Does the Canadian government give me free internet as well as medical coverage, Loud Elvis? No, they don't. Sasheena, thank you so much, my friend. I'm so glad you can hear me. This won't be the last time that we do this, and I appreciate you teaching me a lot about Buddy, about the cubes. They're not bubbles, babe, they're cubes. And I thank you so much for being here and for being in the chat all the time. I love having you there. It's such a great community that we have built, and that's why I enjoy being here with you guys. So, bye to Sheena. There she goes. Away, away, away. It's just me now, and that's okay. Before we... Oh, it's also Sasheena still. No, I'll make her go away. Don't know. Anyways, guys, listen. I love you so much. I hope you've had a great evening. A little bit different for me. I don't like wearing headphones. They really hurt my tiny baby ears that are so beautiful and baby, but that can't just be under those the whole... Like, I just can't do it. It can't be under there. I hope you guys are having a wonderful evening. I've had a wonderful evening. I believe that there's a people in court stream starting soon. I'm going to be live tomorrow. Please keep in mind, I'm going to Florida at the end of this, like next month, for the meetup to meet Mikey from Credence and Mikey. Yeah, because I'm a bit of a fangirl. Just gonna admit it. And I hope some of you try and make it there to meet me there. If you can't, that's okay. But I do hope that you will still leave me a like or a comment on the video. I did just get rid of Sasheena Loud Elvis. And thank you so much, Sasheena, for being here. I know you enjoyed it. I hope that you come back another time when I'm even better at doing it, or I've hired somebody that can do it for me. Those are going to be the two options that we have. I love you all so very much. I'm proud of you. And I will see you tomorrow. Oh, at the end of this weekend, there is going to be a very special, not safe for work, adults only, 18 plus announcement. So please keep your eyes and ears, but your phones shielded when you check the message. I will talk to you soon. Bye.